Hi, this is Chet Rogers with Comfort Peeps Heating and Cooling. This is the second part of, the cost of refrigerant for a homeowner that's having their system repaired because they have a leak, they needed some refrigerant added, or, who installed the AC, left it under charge, and so some refrigerant needs to be added. So we talked about in the last video, price per pound for a homeowner can range from $75 to $150 depending on the contractor. We went over some things with the certifications that each technician needs, the the variation between contractors, stuff like that. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about, the tools that the contractor needs to, have a good procedure for adding refrigerant to your system. So first, good contractor will have a scale. They'll be able to measure, how much refrigerant they're adding to your system. It's good for keeping a log of that as well, so the contractor knows how much refrigerant they've added over time. A more precise measurement for, to balance your system because the manufacturer will have some specifications of, the amount of ounces of refrigerants needed, and different temperatures and pressures at different parts of the AC system. Also, the technician will need some gauges. There's a different variety. Some will have a digital system, based on their app that will take different measurements. That costs, anywhere from $400 to $1,000 on digital gauges. They also could have another set of digital gauges that will do the readings. Or they could add an analog set, with the dials and some hoses with it to be able to take those measurements of what the manufacturer says are needed within your AC system. They'll also need hoses. So in addition to those gauges, they'll have hoses that attach to the refrigerant tank and that'll attach to your AC to add to it. They'll also have different ball valves or T's to keep their gauges on the system while they're adding the refrigerant as well. And so kind of, the investment for a company for each technician could be, a little more than $1,000 between gauges, hoses, scales, things like that, and they break over time. They get left at job sites. So, in a year, a contractor could spend a couple $1,000s per technician for equipment to add refrigerant to your system as well. Well, this is part two. We're going to have another part about the recovery of the refrigerant and what's included in that. And so if your AC is overcharged with a refrigerant, there is that side of things. So as they're balancing the refrigerant, they could add too much and then have to take some out to get that dialed in. And we'll talk about what goes into that in part three. This is Chet Rogers with Comfort Peeps Heating and Cooling. Check us out at comfortpeeps.com.